All right. Greetings, my friends. This is grace, mercy, and peace from him who is and was and is to come very soon, I suspect. This is Rogue Diabetic, and welcome to the digital wilderness. So I don't know who if any of you've seen this. Okay, this is a tweet from John Stevens. It's retweeted by Grace, who also has a YouTube channel called Really Graceful. I haven't seen her post anything on it for a while. I wonder if it got taken down. I don't know. Um, so this is, let's see, did I see what the original tweeter was? John Stevens. I guess he's got a blue check mark. So anyway, and I don't know exactly, this is crazy. Okay? He says this is unbelievable. She says plane number 1109 9/11. So here it is. This is supposedly in Kabul, Afghanistan, where I hadn't even heard anything about Afghanistan for a while. You know? But apparently, they've been planning a withdrawal of the remaining 2,500 forces that we had in there up here until this was a day or two ago. Today's the 16th. And it's like the second the last boot left the ground, Kabul fell, or I don't even know. Because I don't know where this is like, if this is supposed to be inside Kabul and the Air Force is getting chased out by the Taliban. But apparently the Taliban now controls the whole country. Whereas just a few months ago, they were still supposedly on the ropes. You know? But the thing you guys got to remember I remember when this whole thing started. I worked for a guy named John DeCamp. He was a former Nebraska state senator. And he actually had been a fairly high-level politician, but then he started stepping on people's toes. And I remember on 9/11/2001, I had just started working for him as a receptionist. And John was also a Vietnam veteran, and he was in intelligence. He was in Army intelligence. So he actually had some connection with the CIA. And I remember all the way back then, after 9/11, him saying the 9/11 that the Taliban that it was stupid to go bombing rocks in Afghanistan. Right? And that the Taliban was a creation of the CIA. So that's not a new story. There have been people in the know for a long time now. They know that the Taliban it's controlled by the CIA. Okay? And that should have been, I should have taught, because John was one of those crazy conspiracy theorists. And back then I didn't want to be outcast like that. So I always kind of shunned the conspiracy theorist label and clung to the party line for a long time. Then over the years, I've seen some things that have made the obviously, but I was deeply ensconced in the left-right paradigm. So these things that I would see that were obviously problematic, I would either ignore or I would simply, ascribe them to some sort of Marxist conspiracy. rather than like an Illuminati or a Freemasonic conspiracy or a satanic conspiracy, which is what this is, you guys. But over the past couple of years, this has just gotten so too ridiculous for anybody to deny. You guys think this is real? There's a bunch of people. How did hundreds of people get onto a tarmac and get this close to a U.S. Air Force plane that's got 9/11 backwards on it? How did that happen? They were leaving, like, our guys were leaving, you know. I don't even know how many. This is a troop transport plane. I think it's a C-130. And I don't even know for sure how many people these hold. But, you know, I think you can get a couple hundred troops. I think you might be able to get at least a platoon. Or maybe even a company onto one of these planes. And that would be, a company would be, you know, maybe between 200 and 400 troops. And their gear. At least their small arms and their sacks and shit. So how did all these people get this close to an Air Force in Kabul? How did that happen? Who controlled the city when this happened? Did the Taliban already control the city? And they didn't and they just let all these people hide out here at the U.S. Air Force base in the middle of Kabul, and they weren't bombing the shit out of the runway and they just let all these people get in here. Or did this happen like right at the last minute, like right before the city fell? All of a sudden, these just regular Afghanis, these non-Talibani Afghanis, just happen to bum rush this Air Force base where they've got the last of the Americans that are bugging out, and they all gathered on, and then they all surrounded this plane. Now watch this. Oh, I missed that one. Look at that guy with his hands up. This is like... Okay, but I just noticed something. Maybe not. So anyway, I thought maybe it looked like there was somebody trying to jump on the front of the plane. But I mean, how close were all these people when this plane started moving? I mean, and why are we not seeing the rest of the footage where the plane isn't moving and then it starts to move, so you can see how they actually assemble, how these people came to be assembled onto this airstrip and running alongside this plane. Why? Now look at this. Okay, so this is really weird because there appears to be people somehow standing on a platform of some sort that's attached to the plane. Because you see they're up higher and they're like, oh. Now, I also saw a video of people falling off. They were able to after this thing took off, they were able to hold on until the plane got several hundred yards off the ground, and then they started dropping, and then they dropped off. Do you guys believe that? Do you believe that there's I'd like to see somebody who's rode on one of these things, or at least been up close to one, and see if this what are they standing on? Do these planes really have a deck or a platform that if one could get close enough to it, they could jump on it and stand on it while it was moving? They got to be standing on something, right? See, or is this maybe a green screen? I don't know. All I know is that this is staged. They didn't show the plane taking off, right? And in the other clips, by the time you see the other clips, The plane is off the ground, and then all of a sudden you see these two guys fall down to the ground. Which could be like, that could definitely be some sort of manipulation of just the photography. That could be just some sort of Photoshop manipulation. Because it's not like you could see the person's face or anything. Give me a break. These people jumped onto this plane while it was moving. Would you do that? Would any rational person do that? Like in an effort to save to try and save your life? Do you really think that you would be able to hang on to the outside of this plane while it flew to America? Or probably not America, probably Tel Aviv or Iraq maybe. I don't know where this plane was exactly going. Or even if this is like, this right here could be in Hollywood. This could be anywhere. Maybe they shot it on location. I don't know. Maybe after they got done shooting this film, this clip, maybe they circled back around and landed the plane again. For all we know. This is bogus. You guys. It's good, and it's starting to get laughable, but I mean, if it weren't so sad, why is everybody mad at Biden? I thought that's what we wanted. That's what Trump was supposed to do. I thought that's why we all voted for Trump. Was because he was going to get us out of this ridiculous war that wasn't doing anything but, we weren't doing anything but blowing money. And not really helping anything. Especially consider that it was started under the false pretense of the 9/11 false flag. You know, where 3 buildings collapsed at free fall speed, 3 skyscrapers. 2 of them supposedly hit by a plane. Not another one not even allegedly hit by a plane. And it drops down into its own footprint at free fall speed like it's a controlled demolition. Get out of here. So I thought Trump was supposed to get us out of that. And I thought maybe like, you know, I was so like, with Trump, even at the very beginning, because I became a 9/11 truther probably about the same time I became a Trumpster. So, I mean, it was September 2015. It was the anniversary of 9/11. On September 2015. And by then, Trump was already running for president. I was pretty much already on board. And I kind of felt like I thought that he knew. And then maybe he was just going to, he was trying to save face, right? But then once he got in, he was going to pull us out. He was going to pull us out of all of that. Pull us out of Iraq, pull us out of, But he didn't. He made some there were some half-hearted half measures with Trump in the beginning of his presidency. So now you're mad at Biden for doing what Trump said he was going to do? And the Democrats are going to be like, oh, we can't just precipitously leave Afghanistan and Syria. And now they're defending Biden for precipitously leaving Afghanistan. So, and it was just so bizarre how, and it's like, I guess we built an air force for the Taliban, or not for the Taliban, but for the government, our puppet government that we were trying to install. And now the Taliban's got that. Now the Taliban has the air force, an air force that we built for them. Remember when Trump used to criticize Hussein Obama, about like all the Humvees that we left behind when we left Iraq? Remember that? So that's what, like, now it's like, So then Trump just leaves the Air Force back for the Taliban. That probably would have been a good thing to like take with us. Anyway, this is unbelievable. What are these guys standing on? How did they get in? How did they get onto this base and onto this airfield, onto this tarmac? How? We just let them in. So I love you guys. Be ready. Jesus is coming. He's gonna be pissed when he gets here. Okay, he's not gonna be very happy. Don't take the mark. Okay. Start like you need to start like using some critical thinking in these last days. Because whoever seeks to save their life will lose it. But whoever loses their life for Christ's sake and for the gospel's will save it. So like, share, subscribe. I'm out.